Hello, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you today. Happy New Year. This is our first program of 2023. Happy day. If you're watching this at a different time, you're listening to this on demand, welcome. Either way, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm Shane Martin. I am broadcasting from the Spirit Society of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. And today we continue our studies of the Spiritist magazine. New Year, new us. This is a time of the year we're always looking for things to do to improve. Hopefully, we made a review of our past years, and then we came to the conclusion there might be certain things we want to work on. And then right now, we have a list. Who doesn't have our bucket list for 2023 yet? As we set goals, as we work towards the goals, we make amends, we commit to service. There may be some times where we are um, overcoming some difficulties and many issues, and that's exactly what this article by the Spirit Andrea Luiz, through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier, is going to tell us. What a great day to be here with the opportunity of studying this with you. I would be amiss if I didn't mention spiritismmagazine.org, where you find all of the issues of the magazine last week. I went through the website. There's a contact form. There's a link to purchase the physical copy of the magazine if you wish to do so, the physical copy of the magazine, to download the app, to donate. This is a volunteer endeavor. It takes money to keep it up. It's free for you to use, but it does take resources to implement. So visit the website, share this content, give us a like. We don't need your unlike. If you unlike, write to us and tell us why you don't like it. But let's be the co-creators in goodness in 2023, where we share the good news, we share spiritism, which is also a way to be charitable. When we're sharing what makes us better with others, they have now the key to be better themselves. Isn't that beautiful? So this, what you're seeing on the screen to my left side, is what the Spiritist magazine PDF version looks like. That's what I use here. I want to make sure that you understand it's very easy to use. You download to your computer, you open it, you download to your phone, you download the app. Very easy to zoom in and out. This is issue 60. And today we will be talking about this article here. Last week we talked about excuses. It was specifically for the Spiritist. You and I, it was about time we leave our excuses behind, and then we commit to service. So today we're going to talk about the Decalogue of Good Cheer. That's by the Spirit Andrea Luiz in the book Courage. That is already in English. It's out of print, but hopefully it will be back in print soon, so you can consume these teachings as well. Meanwhile, the teachings are here for you and I to use it. I want to make it super big so we can read it together. The first thing he says is difficulties. Guys, who does not have difficulties? Oops. He says, do not waste time with lamentations, work. Oh, my house is so hard. My work is so hard. The Spiritist group is imperfect. He says, don't waste time complaining. He knows us, right? Because that's what we do. We commiserate, we complain, and then we get nowhere. 2, criticism. Never be upset by them. Make the most of those criticisms that are useful. We all get criticized. The moment you start saying to people, I would rather spend my Sunday morning at the Spiritist Center. I'll give up drinking, social drinking, because I know the superior spirits are not there, the ones inciting me to drink. The moment you utter those words, or I'm going to go volunteer at a homeless shelter, I'm going to give up part of my money to support the activities of the center, criticism would work. And in the Spiritist Center, you will say things, people are going to criticize you. You're going to be here doing a program, people are going to criticize you. Then he says, don't be upset. Focus on those criticisms that are useful, because there are ways to criticize folks and take the criticism if we're the ones being criticized. There's a hint of truth to the criticism. Then we ask ourselves, how can I do better? Where did I go wrong? How can it be better? But don't be upset by them. People will criticize us. The same way perhaps we criticize them. Incomprehension, he says, do not try to make them greater through your demands and laments. Make your own way easy. Sometimes we are doing this work hard on ourselves to be understanding, indulgent, empathetic, to give up of our time, which earth and everyone around us is swimming with the tide. Everybody wants to enjoy, travel, enjoy. And then we say, wait, I didn't come here. This is not a vacation. This reincarnation was planned for perhaps decades. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of spiritual friends around us in different ways of our lives to allow us to be here, to help us while we are here. And then people are not going to understand you. They're not going to comprehend you. And then we don't make it greater. We just make our easy. We continue. Because the work of the good matters. Christ is in desperate need of a job well done, said Paul in the book Paul and Stephen. That's you. That's you giving up your time, donating your time and resources in the service of others. Intrigues. Do not give them shelter. Shed light through your charitable behavior. Then, if people don't get through you through incomprehension and criticism, they start to create intrigue, especially in the Spiritist movement. Don't give them shelter. Continue the charitable work of coming together in the name of Christ to co create and help the spirits that are discarnating around us, to help the incarnates who suffer through charity. Without charity, there's no salvation, right? Persecutions, never pay them back. Don't persecute people back. Forgive and forget. People are on purpose telling things that are untrue. They're incurring in debt. We move on with our free conscience, with our clean conscience, that we are doing the best we can, that we came here to do. Number 6, slander. Never become furious when evil assaults you. Always serve. The teachings are very clear. When we have an obstacle, we serve, we work, we do, we go for charity. We don't stay stagnant. Always serve. Sadness, keep away from any disposition towards depression. Pray, embrace your own duties. When we do charitable work, when we are in a state of depression and sadness, we need to exit our own needs. We need to go out and serve. The science of the earth already shows us that's the way of service, is the way to improve mental health and alleviate mental health states such as depression and sadness in conjunction, right, with the medicine of the time, treatment, spiritual treatment. But then he says, sadness. How many of us sit around our homes feeling sorry for ourselves because we don't have the latest iPhone, the latest car, the fashion, or our trip was canceled, and then we need to go out? When we embrace our duties to serve, we pray. We ask the spirits to be around us. We help. Please help me say the right things, do the right things, right? There's so much to do. He continues, 8, disillusions. Why blame others for your mistakes? Go forward, giving to the world and to life the best of you. Again, service, giving the best of you. What talent do you have? How can you participate? Go write. Spiritistmagazine@gmail.com. Let the editor-in-chief know how you can serve. Let your school know how you can serve. Let your Spiritist center know how you can serve. Giving the world and life the best of you, your best talents. Instead of hoarding the talents, keeping the talents, or bearing the talents, we give it out to the world. We multiply the good in us. And that's how we progress. Illnesses, avoid irritation and despair. Think of the benefits that the temporary body's suffering bring to the eternal soul. What if pain and suffering is the way through for true healing within ourselves, within our spiritual bodies and spirits? There are benefits to being ill. We realize we are not unbreakable. We're not immortal. We are immortal, but the physical body will perish. We realize we need others. We give blessings for the times we took for granted when we weren't ill. Many times when you are ill, that's when you think, oh, when I didn't have pain, I didn't appreciate my body as well. But no irritation and no despair. There's a reason for things that may be easy for us to understand or not, but in the long, looking at our lives, not only from the aspect of the point of view of this personality on this earth today, wherever you are in the world, we're all throughout. The point that you're created by God all the way here. There's a story, there's a timeline, and that's what we have here to think of. There are benefits to suffering. So we're not actively seek suffering. We actively seeking service, but not suffering. But if the suffering occurs, no irritation, no despair, and there's a silver lining to the suffering, especially for those who, like me, live in Americans and live in the United States. The abundance of resources and medical resources and psychological resources is great, even though we have our problems. Many folks in the world go through what we're going without what we have. In this life, we have Spiritism that should give us the key to endure, the key to grow, the key to serve. Last but not least, he says, failures, do not believe in these defeats. Remember that by the blessing of God, you are now at your best time. Today, wherein you can smile and start again to renew yourself by the means of many resources at hand. Sometimes things don't work out, but yet we learn something. There are lessons in everything, in the successes and in the failures, especially if we measure ourselves through how the world measures success and failures. But there's a lesson for us in everything. Smile and start again. Smile and start again. The book card. So let's go back here and see if I can put everything in one screen to appreciate. Difficulties, criticism, incomprehension, intrigue, persecution, slander, sadness, disillusion, illness, and failures. As a human being living on the earth today, a world of trials and expiations, we might experience all of these at some time. Not hopefully not all at once, but in different times. And here is the main point. One of the main points we can take from these teachings is do not waste time, work. Don't be upset by criticism. Make the most out of them. Make your way easy. Continue doing the work. Shed light through charitable behavior. Work towards helping others. Forgive and forget persecution just as Christ did. Slander, serve. Continue to serve. Sadness, pray embracing your own duties. Disillusions, go forward, giving the world and life the best of you. Illnesses, think of the benefits that it can bring to us. Failures, smile and start again to renew yourself. So it's always about moving forward, doing it, helping, serving others. It's a time on the earth when we need to remember We're not here just for ourselves and our families. If we only think of ourselves and our families, our work, our communities, we are materialistic. We are not thinking of others. We came in a group, in a society, we live in a place to help one another. It's about time, friends, that we leave the external that is not that important and work on our spiritual acquisitions throughout time. And that starts with good cheer for the new year. Almost rhymes, huh? I hope that you enjoyed these teachings from Andrea Luiz. I hope we're going to have a very productive, fruitful 2023 or whichever you're watching this later. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure and a blessing to be with you. And until then, I hope that I can be with you next week with another chapter. God willing, I'll be back. It's all on God's hands. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.